Welcome to class today. We are going over a really awesome standing balance pose. It's called eagle pose usually. Sometimes people say Garudasana. So we will just kind of channel all of our fun energy, positive energy. Standing balances, sometimes people get really intense. I encourage you to just let that go. Have a wall nearby, take the modifications, have fun working on your balance today. Balance, so important to keep strong and healthy and that ability as we age. So how to, let's see, starting in mountain pose, I'm trying to decide if I want to model this sideways or front. Coming into chair poses is my best way of getting into it, a really deep bend. Now I want you to think of crossing your very upper thigh. So I'm taking right leg over left here, just a really deep cross. Right over left, look at something that's not moving. And then you might bind those right toes behind left calf. If you do, great. If you don't, no big deal. Taking arms out to a T. Now we'll take left arm over right. Crossing at the elbows. Maybe you'll find a bind here where your palms can touch. And I'll just briefly face the camera so you can see both ways. Maybe palms touch, maybe foot binds, maybe not. If not, foot can come out. All right, and you can kind of use those toes or keep them off depending on your balance ability. If elbows don't or arms don't bind, grab your shoulders and just kind of press those elbows together and tuck your chin. All right, so going over the modifications for that pose as well as the instructions. Another modification would be just to have a wall handy as you take standing balances. Just kind of watch yourself if you're using it as a crutch, if you can take those fingertips away from the wall for a little bit. All right, and benefits. Improves balance. Really works on ankle and calf and leg flexibility and strength. Always in balances, we're working on tightening the core. So yeah, lots of good stuff happening here. Balances tend to improve our focus, if I didn't already say that. So let's start. Here we go. We'll want a couple of blocks, a strap, and then if you want a blanket just for this first little bit, sometimes it's nice if we know that we're reclining, just have a blanket handy. We'll be on our knees a little bit too today, so a blanket might be nice. Drawing these blocks in, coming into Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of the feet together, knees dropping open. I'm using these blocks for support because sometimes if my knees are just kind of hanging in outer space, my lower back lifts and I start to feel a little bit of tension there. If you're able to hold this pose without blocks, great, but don't ever hesitate to bring those in. I certainly don't. All right, hands on your belly. Head and neck relaxed. Closing your eyes. And we'll just go in for a nice long inhale and a slow exhale. Inhale, belly rises just a little bit. Exhale, belly and chest fall. Let's add a little count onto that. 4 in, 4 out. Here we go. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the breath moving now as you grab your elbows and just reach those bound elbows above your head. This might arch your back a little. That's okay as long as that feels okay. Just extend elbows above head. Take a couple more breaths right here. Sticking with that 4 count if you liked it, or just inhaling and exhaling. One more breath here. All right, let's bring hands down by your by your knees and just use your arms to gently press those knees together. Settle in here for a breath, move your blocks to the side, and then begin rolling out of this. Let's just roll to the side in that fetal position for a breath or so. And begin pushing your way up. We'll find tabletop pose. I'm just setting my blanket slightly off the mat, coming to the top of your mat in table pose. Okay. Shoulders over wrists here, fingers are flared, hips lined up over knees. And usually we take cat-cows here, but today we're kind of working on those outer hips. So just gently taking right hip over toward the right side and then left hip over toward the left. Now, kind of pretend like that hip bone could maybe reach your elbow. It can't, but that's just the direction that you're going. Okay, got a couple more breaths here. Go side to side. Just see if you can notice obliques, side of hips. What do you feel? It's all good, hopefully. All right, from here, I want you to tuck your toes and then also tuck your chin. Now we'll begin walking in this position, walking hands back toward knees. Little toe stretch, little neck stretch as you slowly come up. Hips down toward heels. We're not staying here long, but again, chin down toward chest. And then gently right ear toward right shoulder. And left ear toward left shoulder. And coming out into our first downward facing dog of class. All right. I step back. A good way to go into that also is to mark it in plank first. And then step back into your down dog. Lifting hips, heart toward heels. Finding your breath again here. Inhaling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Couple more. Maybe pedaling your feet out. Okay. Let's take it into a classic vinyasa. So we'll look up at our hands. Bring your right foot up between your hands. Set your left knee down. Come on up, low lunge. Maybe cactus elbows. Lean forward just a little bit. Opening heart, that's elbows coming together. Not elbows, shoulder blades coming together. Inhale and exhale. Hands come down, frame the foot. We'll slide right knee back to meet left. Inhale, exhale, bend the elbows. Inhale, baby cobra or just cobra. And exhale back into a child's pose. Couple breaths here. And let's find our downward facing dog again briefly. In down dog, looking up at your hands, we'll bring left foot up between hands. Set our right knee down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the elbows. Press hips forward. Shoulder blades coming together. And exhale, hands come down. Lift off that back knee, lift off the right knee, step right foot up to meet left. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand. And exhale, hands to your heart. We'll take another classic with a little variation. Here we go, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, keep your left foot planted, step your right foot back behind you, lower that right knee down, finding yourself in low lunge. This time a little bit of a bind behind your back. So maybe you'll bring fingertips together, making a basket, pressing shoulder blades together, lifting collarbone. If that doesn't work, just grab your strap in and take this from here. We're just here for a breath or so. So no stress, even if there's no bind happening. Okay, set the strap to the side if you've got it. Inhale. Exhale, find your way to a knee push-up here. Left knee coming to meet right. Lower down halfway. Inhale. Upward facing dog, or stick with that cobra with bent elbows, pelvis on the floor. Exhale, back to child's pose. And then lift on up into downward facing dog. Just briefly here, let's look up at our hands. Bring your right foot up between your hands. Settle your left knee down. We've got that low lunge again. Maybe you're holding here. Maybe you've got bent elbows, or maybe you'll try that bind again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Release the bind if you took it. Hands plant near your right foot. Lift off left knee, big step up. Left foot coming up to meet right. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, let's come into a B vinyasa, starting with chair pose. Let's hold this chair pose for a little bit. This is a really big prep pose for Garudasana or eagle pose. So take another breath here. And one more, sliding the weight into your heels a little bit more. Inhale. Exhale, straighten and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or hop back, find plank, lower in chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's look up between our hands. Settle your right foot up between your hands. Left heel comes down. Warrior one. And exhale. Find plank. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Look up between your hands. Bring your left foot up between your hands. Set your right heel down. Warrior one. And exhale, find plank. Lower in chaturanga. You can always do knees or toes for your chaturangas. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. You've got a few breaths here, so take them. Inhaling, exhale, inhale, exhale. My cues are just that, just cues. If your breath's moving faster or slower, it's totally fine. Working to lengthen it, working to press through those arms, lift hips. Great, last breath. At the end of this exhale, bend your knees, look up at your hand step or maybe hop, feet coming up to hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your hands down to the mat and above your head. Hold it a little bit longer. Take the weight in the heels, wiggle your toes. Bend knees a little bit more. Great job. Slowly stand and release. Take mountain pose for a breath. All right, coming back to our low lunge. Let's plant our left foot. Bring your right foot back behind you. Settle that right knee down. You might want your blanket in. We're on this knee for just a little bit here. Taking our twist, so right hand down, shoulder over wrist here, left arm lifts. Take your twist, look up at fingertips if neck's healthy, down at the front of your mat if neck's a little bit tender. Now from here, I want you to tuck your right toes, lift off that knee if possible. And we'll come into what's known as a horizon lunge, okay? So I'm gonna just switch views here really quick and come to the back of the mat to show you horizon lunge. That doesn't work either, switch feet. Okay, horizon lunge would be just sweeping your arm across the horizon, rolling to the back of your foot, okay? And this motion. Big outer hip, okay? So try that with me. Sweeping left arm across the horizon, kind of rolling to the outside, pinky edge of that right foot. Let that hip drop down just a little bit. Great job. Slowly come back and just walk your hands into a wide angle forward fold. So your feet will go parallel to the mat edge, maybe slightly pigeon toe. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold. Just take this fold this first time. There will be an inversion opportunity when we take this on second side, but for this side, just taking the forward fold. Now you can see my head reaches the floor rather easily, so I just kind of heel toe my feet in a little bit so that I can still feel that good stretch. You can always take your feet a little bit wider if your hands don't quite touch. Just always adjusting class for your needs, okay? Take another breath here. Great job. Let's slowly walk those hands to the top of the mat. Back in a low runner's lunge for just a moment here. Both hands to the inside. And just kind of notice and observe. And then let's frame the foot with our hands. Left hand to the outside of left foot. Step back, find plank. Optional vinyasa, or go right to down dog. They're always optional, but I want to make sure you know that by about this point of class. If your arms are feeling shaky, just always kind of evaluate your body. Yes, we do want to build strength, but not at the expense of having an injury or something. So, okay, take another breath or so here. Great job. Let's bring our right foot up between our hands. Settle that left knee down. Find this low lunge twist. So left hand down, right arm lifts. Okay. Use your arms, maybe twist a little bit more. And then let's come into the non-knee version here. So tuck your left toes, lift off here. And then we'll give that horizon lunge a try. So just kind of sweeping that right arm across the horizon. As you do so, roll to the back pinky edge of that left foot. Ooh, this side's tighter. Letting those hips sink down just a little bit. This is a tricky one, so really evaluate. Good. Inhale, exhale, come back forward, and we'll just begin to walk into that wide angle forward fold. When you get there, inhale, half lift, and exhale, fold. Okay, if inversions are in your practice, then maybe join me in this. If they're not quite there yet, don't worry about it. We're coming there with intermediate and advanced classes. So what I do here is I just make sure my hands are in a tripod and that my elbows are in chaturanga arms. Okay, so tripod meaning hand, head, hand, making a triangle. And then I'll just kind of come to tiptoes and maybe lift right into an inversion here. Or another option is bringing knee to elbow and taking the inversion here. Wherever you're at, enjoy a couple more breaths. Even if you're in the wide angle forward fold, the original position, you're still getting a nice inversion. Let's slowly begin coming out. And walk your hands to the top of the mat. Take your right foot forward and bring both hands to the inside of that right foot. Low runner's lunge. I'm keeping my knee lifted because I feel the stretch a little better there. You can always lower it down. Some people like to come to forearms or chest here. You've got a couple breaths. Coming on back into our downward facing dog, right hand to the outside of right foot. Lift off that left knee, find plank. Optional to just go right to down dog or take that vinyasa. Push up, inhale, up dog. And exhale, down dog. Okay, our peak pose is still coming up. We're going to take another couple floor stretches now before we take it. Coming into Gomukhasana, I'd like you to bring your right foot forward just like a foot's length here. And then tuck your left knee behind right, settle down, bringing your knees down, then walking back, making room for your hips, walking back. Now this might be where a lot of people might want to put a block under their hips right here. And you want to grab your strap handy. Okay, so knees stacked, feeling a big outer hip stretch. This is kind of the sensation we'll feel in the full standing balance pose that we'll take in just a moment. Okay, with our right knee stacked, let's open these shoulders up a little bit. Take your left arm up by your ear, and then bend that elbow, and then reach back behind you. Maybe you can find a bind with your hands, or maybe you've got your strap here. I'll just kind of face the camera so you can see what we're working on here with hands and a strap. Just gently walking them closer. Okay, you might bow. Good, take a couple more breaths here. One last breath. And let's slowly release those arms. Slowly unwind the legs and find your way back into your downward facing dog. Okay, we'll come back into that on second side. Pedaling feet, lifting hips. And this time just take your left foot a little bit in front of you, about a foot's width closer to your hands is what I mean. And then bend your knees, take your right knee behind left, kind of walk them out toward the mat edge a little bit. Settle those knees down. You're just on knees briefly here as you walk hands back, back, back. Settling into Gomukhasana second side. Okay, when you feel settled there, it takes a moment, maybe a block or a blanket is nice for you here. Right arm lifts by your ear, bend the right elbow, and then reach left hand back, maybe finding a bind or working fingertips closer on that strap. Inhale, exhale. You'll notice the difference of sides. Keep breathing. This side I feel like I can fold forward a little bit, other side not so much. So just be patient. Speak kindly to your body. And always try to give even time to each side. There's always the dull side and the stronger side in each different movement. Okay, let's come on out. Slowly release that. Weave your way out of this pose as slowly as you'd like and find your way to downward facing dog. Okay, again, an optional vinyasa. I believe this is the last one of class, okay? So take it if you'd like or hold that downward facing dog. Okay. Let's slowly begin walking feet towards hands and hands up towards feet, just kind of meeting at the middle of the mat. Inhale, half lift when you get there. And again, that can be on shins or fingertips, just lengthening the spine, drawing the belly in. Exhale, fold. Holding this fold for a couple more breaths here. Okay. Now bend your knees and slowly just kind of crawl your hands up your legs, slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time, head coming up last. We've been on the floor, we've been in some poses on the floor, so we want to just kind of give a moment in this standing pose just to let the blood equalize out, just mountain pose. Then we'll take tree pose. I'm going to face the camera, but you guys are just fine facing right where you're at, all right? Taking tree pose first, hands to your heart. I'll take the weight in my left foot and bring that right foot up anywhere but the knee. Just avoid that knee area, lock it in, press foot into standing leg, press the standing leg back into the foot. Kind of lift your chest. You'll find maybe you're hunching, maybe you're rounding. Lift that chest up. Take another breath here. Great job. Slowly release that side, wiggle your toes out a little bit, and then let's take second side. Weight in your right foot, lift left foot off. Take your version of tree, wherever suits your body today. Lock it in when you get there. You can feel what that means as you push that foot into thigh, thigh into foot. Find that calmness in your mind. And if balance is tricky and you're coming in and out, just be really patient with yourself. As you come back in, just go nice and slow. Inhale. Exhale, let's release that side. Okay, here we go, full pose. Wall if you need it. Take modifications if they're best for you. Take the weight in the left foot. Really bend your knees from here. Let's take hands to the hips, okay? Now we'll take right knee over left, but think thigh, not knee. Think upper thigh, big cross, right over left. Maybe find that bind. A little unsettled here, okay. All right, take your arms out to a T. Feel like a bird right here. It's pretty awesome. All right, with right over left, let's take left over right with arms. Okay, left over right, bend at your elbows, touch palms, and then press your elbows up a little bit, tuck your chin, and then maybe even that cue of pressing your elbows together. Feels a little more open to me. Take one more breath here. Nice and slow with control. Let's come out with arms and legs flying out of it. Awesome. Take a breath. Second side. Weight through your right foot. Okay. Take chair pose. And then take that deep cross. Think of a deep cross, upper thighs. Left over right, lifting in. Now if we're taking modification, no big deal. Be right there. If you've got the bind, take it. Barely. Okay. Arms out to a T, looking at something not moving. Let's take right arm over left. Find that bind if you can, or bind around your shoulder blades, lifting elbows up a little bit, tucking your chin. Breathe and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Slowly unwind. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Just exhale back to the forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. All right, coming down to the floor, just slowly bend your knees. Use your hands for support. We'll take a brief boat pose here. Okay, modified or full. I'm going to show modified today, just grabbing behind thighs, lifting one leg off at a time. Long spine, gentle tuck to your chin, holding here, and breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Slowly come all the way down. We'll find bridge pose next. Let's tuck those knees into the chest briefly here. All right, plant your feet about hip distance apart, arms down by your sides. Let's take modified first. Inhale. As you exhale, lift your hips, roll your shoulder blades under you. Lift, breathe, and hold. And exhale, slowly come down. Let's cross our left shin just above right knee. Now you might walk that right foot in just a little bit so it's a little more in the middle. Taking a little bit of a bridge right here to start with. Inhale. Exhale, lift your hips. Maybe you can gently feel that outer left hip open up a little bit. And exhale, come on down. Let's take second side. Left foot plants, right shin just above left knee. Let's flex that right foot. Inhale. Exhale, lift. And exhale, come on down. Let's take our feet to the outer edges of the mat, arms into cactus arms, and drop knees side to side. I'm gonna offer one more bridge, maybe a full wheel if you'd like to take it. If you'd rather hold with this pose or one of your favorites, that's totally fine too. Like I said, just offering. Okay, I'm heel toeing feet in so they're about hip distance apart. For full wheel, we'd bring hands in by your ears, fingertips pointing back toward your shoulders, elbows pointing up toward the ceiling. If you want to take another modified, your arms are just down by your sides. Take a big inhale. And exhale, lift, press, lift. And hold and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly come on down. That's a big one for me. All right, hug knees to chest. And let's change it into a happy baby. Knees down toward your armpits. Grabbing behind knees on your ankles or to the outside edges of your feet. Okay, changing this into a reclining Baddha Konasana, so just slowly bringing soles of the feet together and just notice your sensations here. I feel this a lot in my lower back, especially if I bring feet up closer toward head. So just be careful with that. We want a little lower back, not a lot. Okay, one more breath. And let's slowly release. If you've got a blanket, let's bring the blanket in under your head to end class today. If you don't, it's not a big deal. Grab your strap. Coming back into that reclining pigeon pose. So let's keep our left foot planted, right shin just above left knee. Now from here, take your strap around that right foot, okay? Take a moment, settle in. And then from here, just kind of use that strap and we'll just kind of lift that right foot off of the left leg. Now, my ankle's really rolling in here. Flex through the foot and really press the big toe so that that foot stays strong and firm through these poses. Okay, so I'm just using the strap in this kind of rock the baby motion. All right. You might want to hold right here or maybe lengthening that leg out, and that might be enough of a stretch for you. If you want to try a different stretch that I don't cue very often, we're just taking both straps in that right hand, and then we're taking that right elbow behind our head, okay? And then from here, that left hand is just kind of resting on that right foot to bring it a little bit closer. This is a nice little neck stretch for me. This feels good and supported. So if it doesn't feel that way for you, come on out. We'll look at that again in another class. But from here, you might extend that left leg. And we're just taking a little rocking motion here. Just forward and back. Outer hip, neck are mainly what I feel. And again, it's really mild and feels really good. But if it strains your neck and you're like, oh, this is killing, then come on out. Again, pressing through that foot so that ankle isn't rolling in at all. One more breath here. And let's exhale, release, and come on into that second side. Right foot plants, left shin just above right knee. And this might be a good spot for you too with this reclining pigeon. If you want to do these strap stretches, we're just taking the strap over that left foot. Okay, kind of bringing it in, flexing through the foot. That foot and ankle are really strong here. Now we're going back and forth, maybe tiny circles. Just noticing your body. Okay, if you want to try that strap move, both straps go in the left hand. Left elbow goes up overhead. Okay, so the hands are kind of grasping by my right ear. And it feels nice to me. The head and neck are supported. All right, maybe lengthening right leg out. It does feel a little better using this right hand to kind of support and bring the leg in a little bit more so that not all the weight is in the strap. Okay, you might rock and roll forward and back, just little tiny motions here. One more breath. And let's exhale, slowly release that side. Great job. Coming into a nice twist from here. Let's hug both knees in, but just keep hold of that right knee. Lengthen the left leg right back out. Gently guide your right knee over to the left. Flare your right arm out, look to the right. Make your way onto your back, hug both knees in. Keep hold of the left knee, lengthen the right leg out, gently guide left knee over to the right. Flare left arm out, look to the left. Using blocks if you need to at any point in class. Okay, one more breath here. Let's make our way onto our backs, setting all props to the side, lengthening feet out toward the outer edges of the mat. Arms down by your sides, palms up in a receiving position. Maybe lift your shoulder blades up, place them down again. Open and close your jaw a few times. And then now's your moment to just let go of today's physical practice. Just give that body permission to completely relax into the floor. If ever Savasana is uncomfortable, I recommend a bolster under your knees or even a bent knee. We want to be fully supported and comfortable here. Please stay longer if you can. We'll stay here for just a few breaths for recording purposes. As thoughts rise up in your busy mind, just tell them to go away. You'll think about them in a few minutes. If you're able to stay longer, please pause this. If you're ready to come out, extend arms above head, point toes, lengthen your body, and gently roll to your side in the fetal position for a few breaths. Press in, lift up, find your way to a seated position. Let's take one final closing breath together. Take a nice inhale through your nose. Exhale, nose. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. Namaste.